The State of Oregon address was given. This is my version. Hi, my name is Todd. I want to thank you for tuning back into the Teal Jack channel one more time to watch another one of my videos. I greatly appreciate you taking time out of your day to watch one of my videos. And what I've got for you today is last Thursday, would be February the 3rd, 2022, the beloved dictator Communist Party leader, Democrat leader known as Kate Brown gave the State address for the state of Oregon. Now, I didn't watch it, I didn't listen to it, didn't plan on it, because, you know, quite frankly, just about everything she seems to say lately that falls from her lips is just a bunch of hogwash. It's filled with a bunch of false facts and details. Should we call it misinformation? But of course, it's never labeled that simply because she's a Democrat. In this day and age, whatever the Democrats say, that's what we follow, in spite of the fact that science might say otherwise. And speaking of science, I am tired of hearing that phrase, because what we're seeing today isn't the fact that science is changing. It's information we've known all along, and people are waking up. And I think that wake up is because the Democrats are afraid of losing many seats this coming election this year. So they're trying to quickly shift gears to maybe save their seat. But here's my version of the state of Oregon. When you drive around the state, now I haven't traveled the entire state, but I did go down to Southern Oregon this last year, at least once, to visit my parents down in the Medford area. I live in Portland, which is the northern end of the state. Medford's the southern end of the state. And on that travel, I was appalled at the amount of trash and garbage that lines our freeways, the amount of homeless camps that line the cities and highway streets, not only here in Portland, but in other places throughout our state, including the Southern Oregon area. So what's my view of this? The state of Oregon has become a very trashy, dumpy state where we allow homeless camps and pooping and peeing wherever they feel like doing it. It just seems to be the thing that's happening, and our government allows it. So there's one point of view. Trash is increased, homeless is at probably all-time highs. I don't know the exact figures, and I don't even know if the government knows the exact figures of the total homeless that are living on the side of our roads. But I will say what we can see is an increase in the amount of homeless camps and the trash that comes with it. There's number one. Number two, here alone in the city of Portland in Multnomah County, this county and city has spent over $30 million for the homeless problem. That's right, $30 million. Imagine what could be done not only here in Portland, but in other parts of the state, because I'm pretty sure Portland's not the only entity in this state that has spent millions of dollars to solve this homeless problem. Yeah, imagine what that money could actually do. We got roads that are literally falling apart, including the neighborhood road I drive down every single day when I'm taking kids and family members to work and to school. And we're loaded with potholes. And it's throughout this city. There's potholes everywhere. The roads need to be fixed. And yet we're spending millions and millions of dollars on the, quote, homeless problem. As if governments are the best entity to solve these solutions? I don't think so. So there we go. Increased spending for the homeless problem, and it only just seems to be getting worse. And we're allowing them to continue to camp in spite of city ordinances that say otherwise. So what's the other side to the homeless problem? That is the panhandling everywhere. You drive just about anywhere in the city of Portland at any major intersection and you will see somebody panhandling on the side of the road. Sometimes in very dangerous situations where you've got two lanes of travel, 35 miles an hour, and there's somebody standing in the middle with maybe 4 or 5 feet on either side of them as cars are flying past them on the roads. You see that quite regularly here in the city of Portland. So not only is it a danger to the drivers, but it's a danger to the pedestrians. What else have we had? Well, we've had here in the city of Portland an increase in bike lanes where we've revamped streets, and it now makes it really a nightmare for people driving in their cars to get to and from places. So that's what we've done. We destroyed our streets to make life easier for the bicyclists. And what do we see? The bicyclists still don't follow the laws like I used to do when I was bike racing and would travel on the streets. I followed the traffic laws just like any other vehicle should be. But here in the state of Oregon, nope, we actually allow you as a bicyclist to now run the stop signs. It's wonderful. And you see it all the time now in the city of Portland. People running the stop signs on their bicycles. But not only are we seeing an increase in bicycles running stop signs, but on a given day, just about every single intersection, you will see 2, 3, maybe 4 cars go through a red light. That's right. Drive-through red lights. Why? Well, that's because Portland has actually lost a number of people who have retired because of the anti-police policies of the city. Yep. So traffic enforcement goes away because we're basically only responding to 911 calls, and that's per the police department here in the city of Portland. And I can only imagine other parts of the state are probably experiencing some of the same problems as people are leaving the state as a police officer to other regions. I talked with several here in the city of Portland who have actually were planning on and were already scheduled to leave the city, and by now they have already left the city to other departments that are, should we say, in an area that is more police friendly, unlike here in Portland where we're defunding the police. So that brings me to the next state of Oregon address, and that is the crime rates. So let's take a quick look at a couple of these. In the state of Oregon in 2021, we had over 37,555 simple assaults. I don't know what classifies as a simple assault. I'm just going to tell you the figures. I'm sure this is just people walking down the street, punching somebody, that kind of a thing. Now, we've also had specifically 15,460 aggravated assaults. What involves an aggravated assault? I don't know. I haven't looked up the laws here in the state of Oregon, but our aggravated assaults are over 15,000. And then there's a bunch of other crimes, so let's look at the next one, because I know here in the city of Portland, our murder rates by gun violence has more or less increased dramatically. I don't know the exact figure, but I can tell you how many murders the state of Oregon had last year. And the state of Oregon last year had what is classified here as willful homicides of 283. We also had 90 negligent homicides, and we had 29 peeping toms and 18 classified as justified homicides. So our homicide rate has, in my opinion, gone up and is quite high. Now, I will also tell you from experience living here in Portland, I don't know if it's through the rest of the state, but there doesn't go a day outside my door, which is right over there, where you can hear gunfire every single day, usually at night at dusk. You will hear a bunch of rounds popping off. Usually about 5 to 6 rounds will go off somewhere. There's a shooting here in the city of Portland. So as far as shootings go in the rest of the state, I don't know. Haven't looked at the county by county stats related to shootings. What have we seen? Increased in crime rates. Why? Specifically here in Portland, because, well, we're anti-police here. As you guys have seen nationally back in 2020 and all the riots in the streets, all the peaceful protests that took place here where we're trying to burn down buildings, yeah, crime has increased, and crimes are increased throughout this state. But not only has the crime increased, but we have increased in motor vehicle traffic. And what do we have here for the city of Portland is we're trying to do things to get you out of your car, and we're trying to force you out of your car. So here in the state of Oregon, we've seen increase in gas prices. Like right now here in Portland, we're approaching nearly $5 per gallon for a gallon of gasoline. The last time I was at the pump, it was at $4.79 for premium. So what do we get with that? Well, those are because direct results of Democrat policies. One more time, specifically the Biden administration, who decided to get rid of the Keystone Access Pipeline, which drove the gas prices up everywhere. So the prices have increased here in the state of Oregon. But not only have prices for gasoline increased in the state of Oregon, but we've also increased the gasoline tax because, as all Democrats view things, well, we need more tax dollars. So we're going to get it from wherever we can. So we're going to start taxing the gasoline because we don't want you in your car. We don't want you driving by yourself in your car. We don't want you to have the freedom of travel, if you choose to, by yourself in your car instead of taking public transportation. So we're going to keep adding gasoline taxes to you. And on top of that, we're going to add fees to your vehicle registration. For like here in the city of Portland, we pay an additional roughly $100-ish on our registration fee on our car to pay for a bridge that we never cross. Yep. That's the state of Oregon. And what else is the other thing that I want to give you for the state of Oregon that we're doing is we are now looking at putting toll roads on our freeways through the city of Portland. So that's right. If you're traveling from California to Canada, you will get to go through Portland here eventually, and you will get to pay a toll. But don't worry, we're not going to send you through a toll booth. We're going to have cameras set up that I've heard that will shoot a picture of your car, and we will mail you your toll fee for traveling on the road in Portland, through Portland, and across some of the bridges. So there we go. State of Oregon for you, where we keep taxing and taxing and taxing, and we keep spending and spending and spending, and all we're seeing is what I would call a decline in abilities to live. And on top of that, what's one other big news? It looks like Intel was wanting to expand, and so they're moving their plant to Ohio. But it kind of sounds like they're going to keep the plant here in the Hillsborough area. But because of Oregon's wonderful policies and their land acquisitions here for the state, Intel chose to build a new plant somewhere else instead of building a bigger campus here in the state of Oregon. And let me tell you, big mistake on the state of Oregon. That's nearly as big as Ocasio-Cortez, or also known as Cow Farts, opening her mouth and causing Amazon to pull out from establishing an Amazon retail supply chain there in, I think it was New York, where it would have brought in roughly 21,000 jobs. But yeah, that's what Democrats do. We put all these regulations in place that make it really impossible for corporations to come in and establish a business that can actually put funding into the economy of the state in which they reside. But nope, we are so anti-corporation, as we're controlled by a bunch of leftist communist Democrats, that we make it impossible for these businesses to come here and establish large corporations that could build an economy, provide jobs, and thus add a new tax base to the state. But nope, we make it impossible, just like our beloved Kate Brown not so long ago put an axe right through the liquid natural gas plant that was proposed to go into the state of Oregon, which again would have brought huge dollar base to the state. But nope, we don't want that. So there we have it. And we're pushing green energy. So if you build a new house here in the state of Oregon, guess what you got to do? You got to put some sort of green energy on your house, or you won't get to build your house. That's right. What am I saying? You got to put solar panels on your house in order to build it. There's so much for freedom. So here's my advice. If you're planning on moving to the state of Oregon, don't, unless the Democrats get kicked down the road and out of the public life where they're in control of the state, and we finally elect some conservative representatives for the state and make it a good place once more, like it used to be over 30 years ago. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the state of Oregon and my State of the Oregon address. Take care, God bless. Thank you for watching. Please hit like and subscribe if you will, and leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Take care, God bless. We will see you next time. If you have made it this far in my video, I sincerely thank you for watching its entirety. If you like my content, please hit the subscribe button. Remember to hit like as well, and feel free to watch one of my other videos. I will post them down below. Thanks again for taking time out of your valuable day to watch my video. It sincerely means a lot to me. Take care, God bless. Feel free to leave your comments. We'll see you next time.